Have you ever heard the expression about getting your ducks in a row? You know, when you're planning to go on a journey or start a venture, of having everything organised before you embark. When I was in my mid-20s, I went through a crisis in my life. Like, things for quite a long time were pretty awful. I was mired in depression, I was racked with anxiety, and I literally saw very little hope for the future. I definitely didn't have my ducks in a row. I was deeply lost and deeply broken. I knew I wanted to get myself sorted out though. I knew I wanted to find some peace and some security in my life, and I'd heard quite a lot about Jesus when I was growing up, and I knew that he was someone who had helped other people make sense of their lives, and I thought quite a lot about how to find Jesus, and so I thought quite a bit about going to church. But then every time I would think about going, I got stuck, I got scared, I froze. I thought to myself, I can't possibly go to church because, you know, I know the people who go there, they've got everything sorted, they live good and shiny lives. Me, I haven't got myself together. I was a complete mess. I definitely did not have my ducks in a row. In fact, of all of my ducks, one was biting my ankle, one had gone off for a swim, and the others, I don't know what had happened to them. I thought that there was simply no hope for me anywhere, certainly not with Jesus and definitely not with church. But then one day, my family, my young family as it was at the time, we got an invite to go to church. Our neighbours invited us, and they were really good people. And so, feeling very nervous, we accepted their invitation, we went along. From that first week, I felt like I had come home. I felt welcomed. Over the next few weeks, I had this profound encounter with Jesus, and even though I was a mess, even though I didn't have my ducks in any sort of order, Jesus still met with me, and he began to heal me. He picked me up off the floor, he dusted me down, he gave me this new sense of hope and a new purpose. And soon, I discovered this verse in the Bible, in the New Testament. It's written by a man called Paul, who, to be fair to Paul, he also did not have his ducks in a row when Jesus met with him. Paul writes this in chapter 5 of Romans, verse 8. He says, "But God shows his love for us, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." This verse is at the heart of the whole gospel. Of all the good news of what Jesus has done for us, it could almost be summarized up by this verse. While we were still sinners, before any of us had ever had anything remotely like our ducks in a row, before any of us were ready, before most of us knew that we needed to get ourselves sorted, before all of that, Jesus died for us. And not only that, but he rose from the dead for us as well, for me and for you. And he did this simply because he loves us. The more that I've journeyed on with Jesus, the more I've read the Bible. And the more I've come to realize that actually there is not a single person in the Bible, in either the Old Testament or the New Testament, who had anything like things in order or ducks in a row when God met with them. And yet, despite this, despite their mess, despite their brokenness, God still met with them. He still loved them. He still desired to see them live lives full of goodness, full of power, and full of love. So if you're watching this today and you're thinking to yourself, I would love to get myself sorted. I would love to be healed. I would love to get my ducks in a row. I would love to meet with Jesus. Then can I encourage you not to wait? Don't wait until you think you're ready. Don't wait until your ducks are in a row, but simply take this invitation to come along to church and join with a bunch of other imperfect, messy people, possibly a few unruly ducks, and just see just how loved you truly are.